Hola, mi nombre es Ubaldo Reyes. Bienvenidos a mi canal Radiofísica con Baldo. Este es el 10º video en donde presentamos herramientas matemáticas para la evaluación de planes de tratamiento. Para ello vamos a tomar como referencia la información que se ha presentado en el video número 9. Si no lo has visto, aquí abajo en la descripción te dejamos el link. El objetivo de este video es mostrar un abanico de herramientas que nos permitan la evaluación rápida y eficaz de nuestros planes de tratamiento. Así que, sin más preámbulo, comenzamos.
Tools for the analysis of a treatment plan. Introduction. Plan evaluation tools allow the fast appraisal and optimization of dose distribution in order to determine whether the tolerances for the target volume and regions of interest have been achieved. We basically have two types of tools. We have analytical tools and visual tools. We use histograms for the analytical tools, and for the visual tools, we have color wash display that allow us to identify the dose levels. Furthermore, we will talk about these two tools primarily. Analytical tools. We are basically going to talk about dose volume histograms, which we have already analyzed in the 9th video, where we basically mentioned the following. If we have a tomography, the radio-oncologist has counted a volume that we are going to radiate. The planning system begins to make iterations and will try to deposit the dose in that region. For that, it generates the grid calculator. The grid calculator is made up of voxels, and each voxel has an assigned calculated dose which has been previously calculated by the planning system. But of course, we are never going to see that grid visually. However, the system has generated the grid to make the calculations. With all of this information, the planning system makes dose volume histograms. The first one to be generated is the differential DVH absolute, and based on that information, the cumulative DVH relative is made. In both cases, we can see volumes in absolute value or volumes in relative value. In this video, we are basically going to concentrate on cumulative DVH relative. Before presenting you the analytical tools, I'd like to comment the following. All the spatial information of where the amount of dose is targeted gets lost with the volume dose histograms. In other words, we know that a determined amount of volume will receive an X amount of dose, but you are not aware of where that percentage is located in the tomography of the patient. We'll first analyze the curve that we are going to radiate. In this case, the PTV, and the first characteristics is the coverage. At least 95% of our volume must have the prescribed dose. In our example, 95.37% of our volume has the prescribed dose, 40 grays. The second characteristic is known as gradient, which is calculated with the following equation. By definition, it's a positive number and would be a percentage result. In our example, the prescribed dose is 40 grays, and at 0.147% of volume, we have 42.8 grays. And because of this, we have the gradient for 7%. Let's begin to analyze the regions of interest. The first characteristic is the total volume, which is the sum of all the voxels that make up a region of interest countered. We have the minimum dose, maximum dose, and the average dose for each organ at risk. The planning system will calculate these values. Another important tool we use is the reference volume, in which, with help of the curve of our regions of interest that we have in our DVH, we know the volume amount that a dose receives equal to or greater than the reference volume marked. To finish off with the analytical tools, let's take a look at some examples. The DVH shown is an example of a treatment plan for a breast cancer, and we'll take as regions of interest a lung. In this case, the planning system has calculated the total volume, the minimum dose, maximum dose, and the average dose. We can see that 30% of the volume is receiving a dose equal to or greater than 9 grays. All of these volumes are important for physicists and or dosimetrists to analyze them with the radio-oncologist. Let's hit on with the visual tools. In this case, we are basically referring to the color watch display, in which the dose levels are presented by a continuous color gradient. We mentioned previously that with the dose volume histograms, all the spatial information of the dose distribution is lost. For example, we know the maximum dose of our PTV. However, we don't know the position of that maximum dose. Another important thing to mention is that when the maximum dose outside of the PTV goes over the prescribed dose, we call this a hotspot. Before demonstrating an example of this, I want to talk about the following characteristic, which is the variation of dose in the target volume. The objective is that the dose that has been deposited in that target volume, in this case the PTV, must be the most homogeneous it can possibly be. Today, the heterogeneity of the dose prescribed in the PTV must be within plus 7% and minus 5% of the prescribed dose. To do a visual check, I use the color wash, where doses that are greater than or equal to 107% are shown in black, whereas the doses within 100 and less than 107% are shown in red. Doses within 95% to 100% are also shown in red. And with this, I can visually check and quickly the heterogeneity of the PTV's dose. With the help of this last tool, it's easy to identify if we have hotspots or not in our treatment plan. For that, we must identify if the areas in black are within our PTV. If they are within the PTV, their maximum dose. But if those black areas are outside of the PTV, then they are hotspots. It is very clear how analytical tools and visual tools complement each other to have better analysis of the treatment plans. It's important the physicist, dosimetrist, and radio-oncologists check these treatment plans together because every patient and every treatment plan is completely unique. Final comments.
En este video número 10 hemos presentado diversas herramientas que nos permiten evaluar de manera rápida y eficiente los planes de tratamiento. Sin embargo, no son los únicos. En la literatura se han reportado diversos tipos de herramientas que también nos permiten tener una buena evaluación de planes de tratamiento. Pero, desde mi punto de vista, lo más importante es que los físicos mantengamos activos protocolos en donde ya hayamos seleccionado qué tipo de herramientas vamos a utilizar para evaluar nuestros planes de tratamiento y de esta forma poderlos comparar no solo en nuestro hospital, sino con otras unidades de radioterapia. Con este video número 10 terminamos la primera temporada de este canal. Les pido por favor distribúyanlos entre sus conocidos para que más gente se suscriba al canal y la comunidad de Radiofísica con Baldo vaya creciendo. Los veo el siguiente año para la segunda temporada. Muchas gracias.